In this Battletech vlog, we're going to explore the Striker combat vehicle, an interesting vehicle that generally breaks one of the fundamental rules of Battletech, especially as we move into the focused idea of vehicles. But in certain situations, this vehicle can really find a place within your lance or your battle group. So one of the ideas with vehicles, and I am simplifying things a little bit, there's a counter to it, and we've pushed up more to the Battletech playlist here exploring vehicles. But if I had to framework it, vehicles cost less battle value compared to mechs if we mount tonnage and weapons, because the rules are a little bit different. Vehicles don't survive as much. They don't have the same full mobility as mechs. That's not to say they aren't fast, certain hovers, but they're more prone to critical damage and motive hits. But the trade-off is tech level, more bang for your buck, more bang for your C-bills, and a lower battle value. So what you can see is taking a vehicle that's focused for a specific role, and that role might be a weapons platform like the Partisan, just delivering massive amounts of autocannon fire. It could be a battlefield type role, scout, recon, skirmisher. You're doing more for less. So when we jump into the Striker, what we see is a light to medium combat vehicle, okay speed, okay armor, a long-range missile 10-pack, and a short-range missile 6-pack. So we have two weapons that are on opposite ends of the spectrum operating in a single vehicle. So we're dividing that battle value. And most of the time, that's not a good thing. We want to focus on that battle value because we can get more on the table. But by having a long-range system, now it is a 10-pack. I would consider that the minimum on this type of vehicle. I prefer a 20. That would shift things, but now we're shifting tonnage. We're also shifting battle value. 10 is solid, and the short-range missile 6, of course, for a single weapon system has the most punch. Could we mount 2? But taking it to a 20-pack and 2 6-packs, again, that changes radically trying to pack this type of armament into a vehicle at the 560, 550 or so battle value where this vehicle comes in. But what we have is an interesting machine that operates as part of a lance or a battle group by literally splitting it down the middle, giving you extreme long-range missiles, could have been autocannons, and giving you extreme short-range missiles, could have been smaller lasers or again, medium lasers. You have something that, as your battle group or lance is moving in, the Striker can support you. It is a low battle value support craft. We can sit there and fire in with those long-range missiles. Now, whether that's direct fire, whether that's indirect fire, I'd say at the lower battle value, you'll take the direct fire if you have a spotter, but it's not something I would actively set up. It's different than taking, say, some dedicated long-range missile carriers and having a spotter for that. That's a different tactica. That's also a way different battle value. So we can do the indirect. If it presents itself, I'm going to take it. But primarily as the battle group is approaching, as the lance is approaching, I'm firing those long-range missiles, along with whatever else my lance might have with some long-range missiles. Once we get close, then you've got something to switch over to the short-range missiles. You've got a little punch at both ranges. Now, you've also got that mid-band range. Not the most ideal. That band where you can fire long-range missiles at long-range missiles at short range, and you've got some modifiers working against you, but it's a vehicle. You've got enough ammo. Fire away. Or the short-range missiles at the extreme range, where are you really going to hit, but you can still fire it. So you do have that kind of medium-ish type range for both those weapon systems, or extreme short, extreme long, where they begin to cross over. You've got that punch. But the Striker is interesting, and I play it in lower battle value games. Higher battle value games, the C-bills, the tonnage, the battle value, whatever you're going to play it as, there's too much dedicated heavy stuff on the table. And to have any battle value divided that way is not the most optimal. But a smaller game, a skirmish game, something where maybe I don't want to take a dedicated role in terms of vehicles or tanks, but I want a little sprinkling of everything, or just low battle value. I want some more dice at long range and at short range for that low battle value buy-in. This is one of the few vehicles that, for its battle value and its lower battle value vehicle type games, I think it excels at that role. I think it's a great example of working at that level for what it needs to do. A very, very specific, divided area. But moving beyond that, the battle value and the divided focus, it'll start to hurt you. Your thoughts on this vehicle? It's an interesting idea. And of course, you could always supersize it, but then it gets into more battle value. And do you want to have that battle value tied into something that's divided, as opposed to taking that battle value and saying, hey, here is a dedicated LRM 20 vehicle. Here is a dedicated PPC vehicle, whether it's the LRM carrier or the Shrek PPC carrier. That's a different beast, but you're paying for that battle value. Low battle value, 2 systems, some dice at long range, some dice at short range, and some dice at that mid-band type range.